Alright, so today we're going to be talking about door tags. I'm surprised I've never actually made a video on this before because I've had tremendous success with door tags. But we're going to be talking about how to do a door tag, what to put on them, why you should start doing them, and I guess a little bit of like the success I've had from them. It's going to be a very quick one, maybe five-ish minutes, and it's going to be packed with value. So for starters, if you don't know what a door tag is, it's pretty much just, in other words, like a leave behind. It's just like the little flyer that you leave on somebody's door that you don't get in contact with. And preferably it has your contact information on the flyer so that way they actually know to call you back. Now, most companies that I know of actually provide their reps with door tags with an empty space so they can leave their information on it. But if your company does not do that, then I recommend just honestly just learning some basic design skills and then making your own flyer if your company allows it. It's not that hard. It's honestly probably one of the greatest returns on investments that you can ever make. Plus, you'll also have that skill set of digital design. Now, what makes door tags so powerful is because you don't only work in sales, that you actually end up working in marketing and sales, which just supplements your actual income. So for starters, when you have a door tag, well, honestly, I've been doing door tags ever since I started knocking, because there was somebody that made a speech in like our big company meeting. This dude had like 100 sales for the month. And the only thing he said, like, it shocked everybody. He said, use those door tags. It was like my first week in the company. So just straight off rip, I was just researching like how to do a door tag, what to put on a door tag. And then I've had like a trial and error with so many different types of door tags. So tip number one is do not handwrite your door tags. I did that for the longest time and I've had success with it, but trust me, a stamp works almost just as well. The thing about a handwritten door tag is that it's a lot more personal to the customer, so it looks a lot less like marketing jargon or like a sales letter. Like it kind of erases that, and it looks a lot, and it feels a lot more personal to them. I've also noticed that when I was living with my mom and I would like go through the mail, I've particularly noticed mail that looked like it was handwritten, not the actual like stamped on mass marketed one. So even though I think it's like a little bit more effective than a stamp, I don't think it's worth an hour every single day before your shift just handwriting the notes. Like, you're eventually gonna get bored of it and you're probably gonna end up not doing door tags. And honestly, that's a lot worse than just doing something that's actually less effective. So for starters, order yourself a stamp. There's one on Amazon that I use. I think it's called like Excel Mark, and that's actually going to lead me into my second tip, which is actually what to put on a door stamp. So tip number two, I can't tell you specifically what to put, but I can honestly give you some guidelines on what works best. So for starters, you want as minimal text as possible, because one, with minimal text, the text comes out a lot bigger and people actually pay attention to the words a lot more when it doesn't look like it's like an essay or a paragraph. So just make sure it's very concise of whatever you're trying to offer. Another principle that I like to follow is have your name and number on the door tag. Now, that might seem like common sense, but I've seen door tags where people would just put a phone number, like nothing else. I've seen door stamps where there's just, oh my, I'm like thinking of all the terrible door stamps but when like it's a lot more like the prospect is actually reading the door tag, and it's a lot more trustworthy than when they can associate a name with a number. Just put your first name. It doesn't have to be your whole government, but just a name and a number. Don't put an email. Like, people just don't put an email, because you can't really get in contact with somebody truly through an email. Like, you guys are just gonna be sending emails back and forth. It's very inefficient. It's a lot easier just to get on a quick call, sign them up in that 10 minutes, and then just close it out. You don't want to be emailing people back and forth. So just a name and a number. Now, another principle that I like to follow is you kind of want to make it a call to action. So along with your name and number, you want to tell them what to do. Now, I put text. So my bottom line is text Corey and then my phone number. The reason I put text is because I don't like people just randomly calling me and just intruding my day, especially because I don't really know what it's about. I prefer a text, because when they text me, it's like I know exactly like who is reaching out to me and what their intentions are. So that way, when I actually get to the text, I just call them and then explain what's going on. You could put call if that's what you desire, but I just personally put text. So that's the second tip. Well, I guess I'm still on the second tip on what to put on the door stamp. So 1, make it concise. 2, make it a call to action. And 3, make sure you have your number on it with your name. So now we're getting to the real meat of what to put on the door tag. This is where you're actually going to experiment with. Like what I said before, the call to action with your name and number, like do that regardless of what you sell. That should be on every door tag. But what actually incentivizes them to call you is a trial and error type of thing. So for example, like at my company, we offer a competitive pricing, and it's not something that you could just find online easily. So with the competitive pricing, I just put it on the actual door tag along with an asterisk saying that only some people qualify for it. So that way, when they actually look at the door tag and they actually look online, they don't see that same exact price. So they're more incentivized to call you rather than just signing up online. Because signing up online is always easier for everybody. So one way you could kind of like apply it to your situation is just think about whatever discount that you can give the customer, and then just put it on the door tag. Like if they can't find it online easily, just put that on the door tag. It doesn't even have to be something that you can exclusively or uniquely do. It just depends on, all that matters is whatever the prospect thinks about it. So I'll have my competitive offer, and then I'll have another special offer that I can put on, which is a month free. And then I'll put text Corey with my phone number on it. Very simple, very to the point. Now, there's a lot of pros and cons to that door tags, because I could write that like some people qualify, who qualifies, but it doesn't matter. Like people don't read thoroughly, so people that don't qualify will still call and ask about the discount, and then I have to explain it to them, and it just doesn't work out. So it's not like all of my callbacks are guaranteed sales. So then once that started happening, I started experimenting with not putting the competitive offer and just putting the special offer that I can give to everybody. And it kind of reduced my callback rate, but all of those callbacks were guaranteed sales. They're all warm inbound leads. So they're all guaranteed sales, but I was getting less callbacks for it. So what I ended up doing was actually going back to what I originally did, and I formed like a different script for the people that don't qualify. So like it increased my conversion rate with that offer. All this is to say is that you need to experiment with what you put on the door tag, because the offer that is most compelling and most motivating for people to actually call you typically is not something that everybody could do. Like, if you put a year of free internet on the door tag, like, people would be like, wow, how can I get a year of free internet? And then there's like a whole bunch of steps and hurdles to actually get the year of free internet. It's like, you'll realize that your call back rate is extremely high, but the people that actually sign up is a lot lower. So you just want to find that balance of what is extremely compelling, that'll have the highest contact callback rate, that also has the highest amount of people actually converting of those callbacks. And that's really it. It's really that simple. When it comes to actual stamping the door tags, the stamp is like $25. So just one sale alone from the stamp pays back itself tremendously. It's like a stupid ROI. And not like, let alone like one stamp for me, I think has lasted almost like 1,000 door tags. So it's honestly worth it. And then it takes about maybe 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how many you do before you go out to work, before your shift. And then you just leave it out to dry, have it on your seat, have it on your dashboard. I suggest the dashboard, it dries a lot faster. And then you just routinely do it. Like, you consistently put out 40 to 50 door tags a day. Now, from my experience, I haven't tracked down the data, like, specifically down to the percentages of everything, but here's a couple like expectations to have, because you want to be realistic. I'm gonna be realistic about it. It's not like you'll put out 10 door tags and then 8 people are gonna call you back, 9 people are gonna call you back. Like, no, the callback rate is stupid low. It's very like, I'd say in a pretty like bad neighborhood, like on a bad door tag rate, because it's honestly neighborhood dependent as well, a bad door tag rate would be like 1%. So every 100 door tags you put out, you'll get 1 call back for. And then I would say, like, on the high end, it's more like 2 to like 3%. You know, it could be like 5%, but like realistically, the high end is 3%, and the low end is like a little less than 1%. So just for reference, if you put out 40 door tags per day, 5 days a week, that's 200 door tags per week. At the very lowest, you should expect maybe 2 callbacks every week. Now, once you start getting the callbacks, you're gonna become really good at a specific script for the people that call you, so you can close them. And honestly, it's such an easy sale because it's just warm. It's just warm. Like, they're already interested. And then I usually close like almost all of my callbacks. I probably have like a 95% close rate when it comes to callbacks. So at 200 door tags per week, 1% conversion, 2 callbacks per week, and then 4 weeks in a month, about 8 callbacks. It's gonna add like 7 to 8 sales to your paycheck. And that's honestly the difference between tiers. Like, that's thousands of dollars just from this simple habit of stamping something and putting it out, stamping something, and then just put it out routinely. But yeah, that's really all I have to say about door tags. I think everybody should be doing them. I might include like a format of specifically what I do. It's not really helpful because you don't work in my industry. But yeah, made quite a lot of money off of them. Very simple, very easy to do. And also, one thing I also want to add, because it's actually the motivation for the video, I actually started using door tags as a motivation to keep knocking. So for example, like, you might have a goal of 100 knocks per day or 20 contacts per day. And it's a very superficial goal. because you can't really see how many knocks you have, or feel how many knocks you have, or feel or see how many contacts you get. So, for example, like if you said your goal was 100 knocks per day, and then you get to knock 80, and you just don't feel like doing it anymore, you're not going to really feel any different from if you were to stop knocking at 80 or if you were to stop knocking at 100. Like, the only thing that's really telling you your knocks is your CRM. Same thing with like 20 contacts. Like if you got to 15 contacts, you're not feeling it anymore. Like you could really just go home and you're not going to feel much different. So one thing I've been doing with my door tags is I stamp 40 of them. And then I'll do my first pass through. Oh, I didn't actually explain how to put them down. I'll get to that part. But I'll do my first pass through of just knocking. It'll be like 50 doors. And then my second pass through, I'll bring my door tags, and then I just won't leave. I won't stop knocking until all 40 door tags are placed. So this does like a couple of things where every contact you get, and let's just say they say no, you don't put a door tag down for it. Sometimes I'll do it depending on how the conversation went, but if it's like a door slam, I'm not going to put a door tag down for that. So I didn't make progress towards leaving for the day. And then every time I knock and then somebody doesn't answer the door, that's one door tag placed down. Now I'm one step closer to actually leaving. Now what this does is, once I don't feel like knocking anymore, I have a physical reminder of what I need to do before I'm allowed to leave. So it's almost like if you were to just stop abruptly, you're gonna keep feeling the door tags. You're gonna bring them to your car. You're gonna be reminded of how you told yourself you were gonna do something and you just didn't do it. You have that physical representation of that. And I think that's a lot more powerful than just setting some arbitrary knock goal or contact goal. So that's kind of what motivated this video, is that I started using door tags to kind of motivate me to keep knocking. And not to mention, when you put like a bunch of door tags down, it's like now you're just increasing the chances of you just waking up and you just have a lay down sale just laying in your phone. So then you wake up, you check your work phone, you see that somebody texted you that they were interested, you call them, you sign them up in 10 minutes, and now you started your day off with a sale. And you didn't do anything for it. Like, you already knocked those doors, you already put in the physical effort for it. All you did was just leave something behind. And you really don't get any objections over the phone, because before somebody calls you, they've already thought about it, they've already talked to their wife, they've already spoke to their dogs and landlords and kids, and they already did everything they needed to do. All you had to do was just answer whatever small questions they couldn't find online, and what they did. And then just like that, it's just an easy lay down sale. Now, my highest selling days have came from just callbacks in the morning. Like, those days that I woke up and I got 5 callbacks, and I started the day off with 5 sales, and I just did not knock yet. And then you go out to knock, and it's like all these extra sales are just supplementing you towards getting you to your PR. Like, it's honestly, I'm so surprised I didn't make a video about this, like, firstly on my channel. Like, callbacks have really made my sales experience, because now, like, you go into your turf, you already have a bunch of sales for the day, and it changes your mood. Like, you're a lot more passionate. You don't really care as much if you get this sale or not, which honestly helps you with sales. It's really good. It's really great. So, and then there's like those days where you're like in a shitty ass neighborhood. You knocked 100 doors, 100-degree heat, and you just zeroed for the entire day. And you just, you're kind of mad, like, damn, bro, I didn't get no sales today. And then all of a sudden somebody texts you, oh, I got your flyer. And then boom, you just got a sale for doing, like, you got a sale from months ago, just because you consistently left out door tags. It's honestly like one of the lowest hanging fruits in sales is damn door tags. I think there's literally, and the thing is that like, you never really know when a door tag is going to work. So I'm gonna talk about how to leave door tags and also like when to expect callbacks. But you never really know when a door tag is gonna work, because I'll leave a door tag in a neighborhood and then I won't get any callbacks the next day, sometimes the next week, sometimes the next month. And then randomly, I'll get like several callbacks from the same exact neighborhood. Why? Because their internet provider just went out and they just had my number. Sometimes you'll get a callback literally right after you knock their door. I've had a callback where I left the door tag and then it was like 5 minutes later, the dude called me like, yo, I just saw your door tag, I'm interested. And I just walked back to his house. And then there's also a callback I've had where it was literally over a year later that they called me back from a door tag. So I would say like on average, like within a week or two is when you're gonna get the callback from leaving a door tag, but it honestly varies. It's not certain when you're gonna get the callback. So I'm gonna talk about what days. Okay, so most callbacks in my experience have really came on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Saturdays is like a very popular day for callbacks for some reason. And then Fridays is like kind of medium. And then Thursdays is like the second on the list. So top 3 days: 1 Saturday, 2 Friday, 2 Thursday, and then 3 Friday. Do with that information whatever you need. But that's just, out of the thousands of door tags I've placed, that's like the times that I get callbacks. It's typically towards the end of the week. Sometimes you might get them on a Monday. That's like I'll probably say put that as number 4. Tuesday and Wednesday, not really. Sundays, not really either. Sundays is another day that people do call me back on. But just generally speaking, most of your callbacks are going to happen towards the end of the week. And then I'm just going to finish off with this point because I did say it was going to be 5 minutes and it's 22 minutes long. But how to place door tags. So honestly, you want to be aiming for contacts more than door tags. So a typical knock cadence is 40 to 50 unique doors with 2 to 3 pass-throughs. Now, if you could, the best course of action, if you could, and you're disciplined and you're consistent with it, is you want to leave a door tag on the 3rd pass-through. Why? Because first pass-through, you're not getting that many contacts. Second pass-through, you're getting way more contacts. And the third pass-through, you're also getting a lot of contacts as well. The problem with leaving a door tag on the first pass, oh my God, I want to talk about this, bro. Do not leave door tags on your first pass through, please. Please don't do it. People, it's like the easiest stall ever. When somebody already has your information, the company information, and then you knock their door, they already have all that. It's just the easiest stall. Like, yeah, I saw your door tag, I'll call you when I'm ready. It's like the easiest way out ever. Like, do not leave it on the first pass through. Like, you don't even get contacts on the first pass through. Why are you leaving door tags? Some people in my company that do that shit, and it's like, why? And then the second best time to do it is the second pass through. Because 2 things about the second pass through is that when you leave it on the second pass through, is just in my experience, you get most of your contacts on that second pass through. So the people that you don't get to speak to on that second pass through, you have a door tag on their door. And then if you're doing a third pass through, you actually could just scan out for disruptors. And that's another very good thing about door tags, is that people that did not answer the door, if you just went back on your third pass through and just looked at disruptors is what they call it, so where your door tag is missing, where the packages got brought in, where the garbage bins got brought in, anything that's like different from that second pass through, it's a very easy indicator that this person is home. And you could just knock they shit the fuck down. And then, honestly, a lot of the time with the second pass through is that it typically is like your last pass through of the day because of how many contacts you're getting. You're getting a lot of contacts at second pass through, you're getting a lot of sales, so it's like you really end up, the second pass through just ends up being your last pass through. But if you can actually consistently do the third pass through, a full third pass through of door tags, that will be your best day ever, because you gave every single door 2 primetime knocks, a non-primetime knock, and then you know that you efficiently worked that neighborhood. You worked that segment of leads that you actually did. So leaving a door tag is honestly in that case scenario, that's actually the best case scenario, because you actually try to get contacts. Nobody was actually home on the third pass through, so you just leave a door tag. But the only issue with that is that it's very hard doing a full 3 pass throughs. That's like, you have to start at like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and honestly, I ain't that disciplined. I ain't all the way up there. I don't got that much energy every single day to be doing this. So what I consistently do is I'll just do 2 pass throughs of like 50 doors, and then I'll leave door tags on that second pass through. If it's a very, very low contact day, and I still got like some time remaining at the left of the day, then I'll actually do like a third pass through, but it's only disruptors, like just seeing where my door tags weren't placed, right? But yeah, that's how you do door tags. That's the benefits of door tags, the motivation behind it. I said it was gonna be 5 minutes, it's 26 minutes. But yeah, moral of the story, just to wrap this up, start doing door tags. It's not that difficult. It's very easy to do. It'll put thousands of dollars in your pocket for really nothing. And yeah, that's it. Catch y'all on the flip.